Hey everybody, it's Jochen Hayden, and I'm back with the Desert Wolf versus Wirraway Ace War in the Pacific campaign. This is scenario 1 with stacking limits, and this is the 10th of November, 1942 combat replay. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're back with Desert Wolf versus Wirraway. This is November 10th, 1942. Got some Coast Watchers, nighttime. Oh. Oh! Oh, I see how it is. So, these rowboats miss, but in my campaigns, the rowboats hit everything. I was kind of worried about this. I saw these ships going into Koku's Islands a day or two ago, and I was pretty sure that the Japanese would know they were there, and sure enough, they do. But they miss. Come on, second try, second try. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Finally, listen. If I have to suffer from these rowboats, I want Desert Wolf to suffer too. Come on. So it sounded like RO-68 surfaced and was firing its deck gun, but elected not to continue that, but did get one torpedo into it. And there it goes. Okay. That's the first ship that Wirraway sunk since that. Oh, never mind. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. Um, the Minesweeper going into Macon was in advance of other ships coming in there. So it just happened to be at this point a bombardment task force. But this is the beginning, opening moves of softening up this place for the invasion to come behind it. So let's see how this turns out. Wow, a lot of damage to the base, but I don't know if it was really necessary to damage the base like this. Um, I don't think they have any supply anyway. The the base itself is destroyed, so it didn't really cause a lot of casualties to the troops, which is what I think they were trying to go for. All right, so it looks like a Japanese subchaser is caught up to the K-15 just off of Tarakan. But nothing came of it. And that's 3 subchasers. He's lucky. Okay, now we got some daylight, and let's continue on. Hmm. So it looks like these subchasers are still on the scent here. But they appear to not have what it takes to engage the sub in deep water. All right, now we're going into the air operations day phase, AM phase. Looks like oh, interesting. Oh, a destroyer is reported as hit? Whoa, twice? That's not good. Not good for Wirraway anyway. Okay. A lot of recons and opening moves here. Okay, a ton of recon. Wow, no combat during the AM phase. What is going on here? All right, let's try PM phase. Maybe we'll get something to happen here. Dang, these Catalinas are out there dropping bombs on everything today. Okay, a lot of recon again. What a bizarre air phase today. No bombing missions, no sweeps, no cap, nothing. Was it bad weather or what? That's bizarre. Like nothing. This won't take long to analyze at the back end of this. All right, well let's see if there's any ground combat here. Something. Oh. He's going for it again, man. I don't know why he keeps beating his head against the wall at this place. This is not going to go great for him. There's no way he's getting through here. Well, there you go. The numbers don't lie. He's just grossly outnumbered here. Yeah, look at that. Not a good result at all. Now, I'll give him this much: the disparity in casualties is not massive, but look at all these disabled vehicles, for example, right? The Chinese can tank these losses much better than the Japanese. I just don't see him getting through here ever. I don't know. I think Wirraway needs to find another way around because this ain't it. Okay, another bombardment attack in Lanchow. Okay, that's pretty good here. He gets quite a bit of casualties out of that. And only one gun really destroyed here, so that was good. A good bombardment. Let me see, what does he have here? 3 tank regiments, 3 divisions. You know what I'm not seeing here? A headquarters. He needs to get a headquarters in there. Yeah, you may not see those for a bombardment, huh? That's it. Wow. Wow. These turns are going fast right now because there's just not much happening. Let's see if we get any reinforcements on the map. Okay, got some units. Fiji Brigade. Wow, a lot of units coming on map. That's good. There it is. Man, that was quick. Okay, so we got to see Wirraway attacking my favorite hex in all of China right now, and it went exactly the way I thought it would. Let's look at numbers. Today, we have a total of 3 aircraft lost, 2 Japanese and 1 Allied, and I can totally see why the PBYs are being lost so much. They're being very busy out there in the Marshalls and Gilberts. No pilots lost, though, for Allies this turn. Army lost points for this turn are 3 for the Allies and 1 for the Japanese. Ship sunk. Actually, yeah, we had one sunk. The Bandra, which was loaded with supplies for Kokus Islands, was sunk by a rowboat. We'll take a look at that in a minute. First ship we've seen sunk for the Allies since that APD went down due to the mine at Attu. So for this turn, the Allies gained an additional 8 points on the Japanese, but the ratio stands steady at 1.620. So kind of stalemate right now as far as moving points along. All right, so I looked at the combat report, and as I already mentioned, we're going to take a look at the Bandra. So out here in the Indian Ocean, we have the... Remember I mentioned a few turns ago there were some transport ships moving into Kokus Island to drop off supply. And I was concerned that they would get spotted. I thought it'd be an air attack that would take them out, but apparently there is a rowboat sitting on Kokus Islands. So the other AK that was there decided to go into port because they're scared right now. They don't want to sit out there and get shot up. Now, this is something I was not paying attention to, but over the last few turns, apparently, all these submarines are coming in with the sub-transport mission to drop off 1,000 supplies. So I do know that Desert Wolf likes to make use of submarines for cargo and supply shipments. And I think his rationale is that these, especially these American subs, are so crappy with their garbage torpedoes that you might as well just use them for supply because they're not going to really hit anything even if they want to with their torpedoes. So I get it. And he's trying to keep Kokus Islands alive. To what end, I don't really know why they're even here. These are leftovers from, the Dutch East Indies and Sumatra, Malaya, but I don't know what their goal is out here, but they're here. Yeah, and they're going to get a bunch of supply dropped off by these subs. Who knows if that rowboat's still around, though. Better watch out for that. Okay, second, I went through this. There's a lot of radio calls out here, but most of these radio calls are going to be kind of out in this area here in the South China Sea. And I don't even want to bother mentioning them because there's nothing that Desert Wolf could really do to act on this. It's probably just transports moving back and forth, bringing in fuel supply, that kind of thing. There was one mention of one here near Kobe, but again, it's so deep into the Japanese territory, it'd be suicidal to try to get in there, especially when this sub here was already getting attacked by aircraft as it is. So, yeah, probably best to just let that go. I did get one piece of actionable intelligence, though. 19th Naval Guard is at Millie. And that's over here in the Marshalls. So we know for a fact that at Millie, which is probably one of the next bases that Desert Wolf will take if and when he conquers Macon, you have at least one Naval Guard unit there. So that's actionable intelligence. That's good. All right, so let's look at the ops report. And there's one thing I wanted to point out to you was how savage Desert Wolf's Catalinas have been lately. We have two different mentions, for example, of his Catalinas striking the Karukaya destroyer, which was somewhere, I believe, in this vicinity. And it's going to be coming from units like this. So let me just remind you how this works. So the higher the naval search skill, the higher the chance for good spotting, good scouting, proper identification, and basically anything over 60, and of course higher is better. Your PBYs have a higher likelihood of actually attacking whatever it is that they're sighting while they're doing their naval search. So when they're doing that, they'll carry whatever load you have set up. So they're using bombs. They're going to attack with some 500-pound bombs, right? If you had them set to do a torpedo, they may possibly use torpedoes, but you rarely see that. But yeah, so we do know that Desert Wolf has a not insignificant amount of naval search assets out here, and all of them are probably highly trained. Let's see if we can find some more. Let's see. Yeah, look at these naval search numbers. Any of these guys are highly likely to initiate an attack when they spot something. We saw 4 different mentions of attacks all through this area this last turn from his PBYs. So they're definitely dangerous and something that Wirraway needs to be aware of, because I'm sure that destroyer, wherever it's at now, it's got some damage on it, because there is possible to have a misrepresentation where your aircraft report that they hit something but they didn't. But when you have 2 consecutive reports of them hitting something, it's something to keep in mind. All right, now the other thing I want to point out to you in the ops report was the North Carolina. Repairs complete at BB North Carolina at Seattle. Ship return to service. Now, I saw something interesting when I looked at this, because for one, North Carolina is basically the first modern fast battleship that the Allies are going to get here in the campaign, right? The North Carolina, the Washington, the South Dakota, those ships are going to be the battleships you're going to get in late 42 that are actually modern and have the speed to kind of keep up with the carriers. But when I was looking at this, I clicked on North Carolina and I noticed that the upgrade was a little behind. So when I clicked on this, I saw an interesting message here. Look at this. This upgrade has been missed. So basically what that means is that for whatever reason, Desert Wolf elected not to do the upgrade here. And I think it's because the North Carolina was damaged or something. So in the meantime, this upgrade was missed and another upgrade has become available. And look at this. So if you look at the difference between these two, this adds AA, upgrade 1, and upgrade 2 actually takes a little bit away. And that's kind of interesting, right? Watch the difference. Kind of watch these 50 cals here. So the 50 cals go away and they add a little more 20 mil, but it actually reduces the anti-aircraft rating just slightly. But that's beside the point. I'm just showing you this message here. So basically what it's telling you is you've missed an upgrade. So when you do when you bring it in for upgrade, it's going to go ahead and knock out the first and the second upgrade concurrently, but you're going to pay the price because there was damage and time required to do the first upgrade that was in excess of what the second one needed. So it's adding on the first upgrade's missed time and damage to do it. I thought that was pretty cool because I've never seen these messages before. I typically don't go overdue on my upgrades so long that a second upgrade becomes available, but that's going to happen when you have upgrades that are so tightly spaced together, right? Just thought it was cool to see this message, and I thought I would share it with you. Okay, let's talk about the situation. So first, we had this. The Japanese elected to attack here in this hex, despite not flying any air missions, despite the fact that their bombardment attacks were no good, despite the fact that he knew that he's on ×3 terrain with more troop numbers than he's got, like substantially. And we saw the result. They got beat back again. I don't know why Wirraway insists on trying to break through this particular hex. I mean, there's got to be another way around, right? Because this ain't it. And he took heavy casualties again, and he's now probably in the process of exchanging units. So I don't know what Wirraway's plan is here. I think he's kind of frustrated, to be honest with you. There's no way to break through here, right? Unless, and here's something that I think maybe Wirraway should think about. And he doesn't know any of this. I'm just thinking out loud. You know you're hitting roadblocks left and right, right? You're trying to do some flanking moves here, but this takes forever. What about this? What if he were to start stripping away some of these units here and bring them down the road and come up and run flank around? I mean, what's keeping him from doing that? I don't know. Hope I didn't give Desert Wolf any ideas. I'm sure that Wirraway won't do that, but like when you're hitting this kind of roadblock and you're just not getting anywhere, it's time to really think outside the box. And that is the only thing that I can think of that might kind of stir things up if Wirraway were to come around this way and flank in from behind and take Kuai Yang. It's lightly guarded. Then he could come back up the road this way and go that way, or go towards Chungking. I don't know. There's a lot of options here, but these are things you have to do when you just can't get through somewhere. And you know, in my game with Lodric, for example, he doesn't even bother with that. He just uses blunt force trauma to bust his way through. But we don't have stacking limits in our game. This one requires a lot more finesse, and you have to really try to outmaneuver your opponent, because trying to just bust through here doesn't work like it does for Lodric with the death stacks. Up here in Lanchow, I'm really surprised to see that this damage has come down 30 points. So I guess it is important for Wirraway to start bombing this base, because pretty soon, if he wants to, Desilov could start, if he had the supply, building up these forts. But nothing flew this turn at all, like almost nothing at all. So I'm assuming there was just bad weather everywhere, because I have no good explanation as to why nobody decided to fly missions this turn. That's pretty crazy. So one thing that I noticed that appears to be new here in Burma is the conglomeration of all these units here at Tungu. I don't recall seeing this many here before. I thought they were maybe sitting in another hex. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's definitely a lot of allied units here, and these are American infantry divisions. They pack a lot of heat. So despite the fact that they may be more or less even on troop count, I think the quality of the troops in these three divisions and the firepower that they pack is way higher than what the Japanese have got. So I wonder if we're going to start seeing a big bombing campaign at Tungu, and maybe see if Desilov can leverage the firepower advantage of these American divisions to break through somewhere. I think these guys have the propensity to do more damage to the Japanese than maybe the British can. So let's watch Tungu. This might be where the next activity is going to happen here, while everybody else continues to maneuver around Lashio. So let's go take a look at the Gilberts, because I just found something very interesting. Okay. I think, is it here? Nope, it's not here. Look at Abimama. You ready for this? Do you see this? A lot of troops here, right? Watch this. Macon Landing Force. We got a ton of APDs loaded up with 3rd Marine Raiders, and it looks like, what are these guys? A Raider Battalion and a Parachute Regiment. And these guys are headed for Macon. I don't know exactly when, but they're on the way. And on top of that, I assume these guys are going to come with them too, because in this one we have a tank battalion, a USN base force, and again, I mentioned this before, these are great to help you during combat because they help you unload your units faster by using this naval support. So this looks like a force that's destined to go into Macon probably within the next couple turns now, because they can easily sail here within a turn. Right, Macon is 5 hexes away, and these guys can, where are they at? I keep losing them. These guys can cover 6 hexes in a turn, and these guys can do 6. So we could see a landing here at Macon next turn. And we also have surface ships ready to go to support it, and you can bet all these bombers and all this stuff from Tabatua will be hitting Macon. So my guess is that we will see the invasion of Macon next turn. If not next turn, 2 turns from now. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to go great. I think Macon is completely battered and broken, and the troops have no chance of standing up to that. Got some ships out here, probably moving into Nauru. We have these guys moving to the northwest. Just miscellaneous task forces up here in the Marshalls for the Japanese, but I think all eyes are on Macon now. So let's go and end this video now, and we'll see what happens on the 11th of November replay, and see if this goes down. I'm excited for it, and I think that'll kind of wrap it up for the Gilbert Islands, right? I'm not entirely sure if Macon is part of the Gilberts or is part of the Marshalls. It's kind of in the middle, but either way, It's going to be a good turn next turn. I feel it. This lull in activity is going to be over, and there's going to be some fireworks. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. I'll catch you in the next one.